After claiming both the men's and women's Big South Outdoor Track and Field Championships, Coach Brant Tolsma will now take his team to Jacksonville, Florida, where some of the Flames and Lady Flames will have a chance to compete for a chance to go to Nationals coming up here. And to talk more about that, here is Coach Tolsma. And you got, 15 representatives heading down there to Jacksonville, 7 of them female student athletes as well. I know that's got to be exciting to have a good mix of both male and female this time.
That's right. It's our teams are getting more and more equal in these days, and not only 15 athletes, but we're in 18 events. So I think that might be the most we've ever been represented in, and so we're looking forward to it. Should have a lot of fun.
Only one of those has been to nationals before. One of those 15, that's Michelle Cummings. So an opportunity here for a lot of other young student athletes to make a mark here and go to nationals for the first time. How exciting is that?
Well, it is the kind of thing you get there and you do what you can, and who knows? You know, it's not about how you're ranked going in. It's the top 12 there do it. So we're hoping for a surprise or two like we had at conference. There were a couple things that just totally surprised me, and I hope we have some there. I guess our only person ranked in the top 12 at the moment is Jocelyn Williams, but I'm hoping we might see more than one athlete at nationals.
As Jocelyn heads in, I mean, what's her preparation been like here for the event?
Well, I'd have to ask Coach Henderson about it. It is interesting that we're primarily a field event team there. We have 2 entries in the shot, 2 in the discus, 2 in the javelin, 2 in the hammer, covering all 4 throws, and we have 2 in the high jump, 2 in the triple jump, 2 in the pole vault, and none in the long jump, but we had 2 that were very close. So it was a really good year in the field events. We also have 1 in the hurdles, 2 entries in the sprints, and 1 in the distance. So that's what we look like going in.
Give us a preview of the running events then.
Well, Ryan Davis was a big surprise qualifier in coming with an over second PR in his 400-meter hurdles at the Big South final. To win that, he came from behind, and the guy he beat even qualified, so that's pretty good, and that was exciting. We also have Abby in, who we're really hoping she'd get in because she was on the bubble in both the 100 and the 200, and we felt like she would surely have been in the 200, except they ran into a headwind on the final, and that was the best time she had this season, into a headwind, but she made it in, so that's really good, and we think that, you know, she should do something special down there. I think she's looking good.
Does it help coming off both team championships as well, conference titles, as far as the confidence for some of these kids going down there?
Well, we'll find out. It's you know, we're still kind of basking in the joy of how that all turned out, but and it's good to be upbeat and positive all the time in a sport like track and field. So it's certainly not going to hurt. That's for sure.
What's the experience like down here in Jacksonville? I mean, these are some of the best athletes in the country, really, and your teams get to go out there and compete with them. What's the experience like for them?
Well, we're used to competing against the best in various places. We go to major invitationals, so that's not really a problem. We have to deal with the heat. It's likely to be very warm down there, which can change the outcome of certain events, especially the distances. You know, I think the 10K is scheduled for 9 o'clock at night, but it doesn't mean it won't be 82 degrees. And if you run some of the people that train up north or that aren't good at running in the heat, they might be number 1 or 2 on the list, but when the race runs, they might be, you know, one year when we had it down there, I think of the 48 entries, 15 of them or 16 of them dropped out because of the heat. So that makes it interesting. Anything can happen, and generally at regionals, anything can happen. Last year, Daniel Clays went in not seated very high, and I don't believe, and he was only 2 spots away from making it to nationals. So that's the fun of it. It's nice to know God's in control, and we just got to go down there and relax and do our best, see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, after all, I mean, you look at the way that the Lady Flames won their championship. You couldn't have projected the way that third day was going to go.
That's for sure, and that's why in athletics, you know, you do the things on paper and what you think will happen, but that's why they play the game. That's why they run the race, and most of the time it comes out the way you would expect, but certainly not all the time.
All right, Coach, appreciate the time and safe travels.
Thank you.
That's the head coach of both the Flames and Lady Flames track and field squads, Brant Tolsma. My name is Nick Pierce for the Liberty Flames Sports Network.